A man kneels beside an old rusted bolt in the corner of his garage. Sweat runs down his forehead as the wrench slips again, slicing the skin across his knuckles. He sprays more WD-40. Waits. Try again. Nothing. Nearly an hour passes. The floor is covered with dirty paper towels, the air thick with the smell of chemicals, and the entire can is almost empty. Yet the bolt still refuses to move even a single millimeter. At that moment, most people blame themselves. They think they didn't wait long enough, didn't spray enough, didn't use enough force. But almost nobody stops to ask the more important question: what if the product was never truly designed to solve the problem in the first place? And more importantly, what if professional mechanics discovered a better solution decades ago, kept it largely to themselves, and the industry quietly made sure it never appeared on store shelves? Here is something the automotive industry has never had an interest in advertising. Some of the most experienced mechanics, marine engineers, and industrial repair technicians in the world stopped using commercial rust sprays a long time ago. Not because they ran out, not because the products were too expensive, but because, after years of working with severely corroded machinery, equipment that commercial sprays consistently failed on, they figured out something better entirely on their own. They didn't publish it, they didn't patent it. They passed it quietly between repair crews, shipyards, and machine shops, the way professionals share information that actually works, but that nobody has a financial interest in promoting. This article is about that formula, where it came from, why it works, and why you have almost certainly never seen it on a store shelf. Every year, millions of people spend significant money on products they believe are miracle fixes for rusted metal. Garages, workshops, factories, and households all over the world are filled with cans promising instant penetration, lubrication, and rust removal. The marketing is powerful. One quick spray and stubborn bolts magically loosen. At least, that's the fantasy consumers have been sold for decades. The reality is very different. WD-40 generates over $400 million in annual global revenue. That small blue and yellow can has become one of the most recognizable household products on Earth. People spray it on squeaky doors, frozen hinges, rusted tools, bike chains, car parts, and locks. But here is the part most consumers never hear. WD-40 was never originally engineered to be a professional rust penetrant. Its widespread identity as a mechanical problem solver was not built in a laboratory. It was built through decades of marketing, consumer habit, and the very human tendency to keep reaching for the familiar, even when the familiar keeps failing. Where WD-40 actually came from. To understand this properly, you have to go back to 1953. In a small laboratory in San Diego, California, a company called Rocket Chemical Company was working on a specific aerospace problem. America was deep in the Cold War, and engineers needed to protect missile components from moisture and corrosion. Sensitive metal surfaces inside rockets could suffer catastrophic damage from even small amounts of humidity. The scientists were not trying to free rusted bolts in garages. They were not designing a deep, penetrating oil for seized machinery. Their goal was straightforward: create a formula that could displace water and leave behind a thin protective coating on metal. That is where the name came from. WD literally stood for water displacement. 40 represented the 40th attempt, after 39 earlier formulas failed to meet requirements. The product succeeded at its original purpose. It pushed moisture away from metal and helped prevent surface corrosion from forming in controlled environments. What happened next was unplanned. Factory workers began taking cans home. They found the spray seemed useful for household problems. Squeaky hinges, sticky mechanisms, surface grime. Seeing this consumer interest, the company released WD-40 for retail sale in 1958. From that point forward, advertising slowly transformed the product's public image into something its original chemistry was never specifically optimized to be: a heavy-duty rust penetrant for seized mechanical fasteners. At a molecular level, WD-40 behaves very differently from a dedicated penetrating oil. Its primary function is surface lubrication and moisture displacement. When sprayed onto rusted metal, it creates a thin, oily film across the outer surface. That film can temporarily reduce friction, which is why it sometimes feels like it is working. The problem is penetration depth. Rust is not simply dirt sitting on top of metal. It forms a dense, irregular crystalline structure that locks surfaces together almost like microscopic concrete. Breaking apart severe corrosion requires a fluid that can travel deep into the microscopic gaps between metal threads, spaces almost invisible to the human eye. True penetrating oils are specifically formulated with low surface tension and specialized solvents engineered for that purpose. WD-40 struggles here for two reasons. First, its heavier oily composition tends to remain near the outer surface, rather than aggressively infiltrating rust layers. Second, its lighter solvents evaporate relatively quickly, which means the product often loses effectiveness before it can fully work into heavily corroded areas. What users typically experience is a surface effect. The metal looks shinier. The mechanism feels slightly smoother. but the actual rust bond holding the fastener in place often remains largely intact underneath. This is not opinion. It is consistent with the product's original design intent, which was never deep rust penetration to begin with. In the 1980s, a different kind of problem was playing out in shipyards, machine shops, oil rigs, and coastal repair docks. Machinists and marine engineers regularly faced corrosion that most ordinary people never encountered. Bolts exposed to salty ocean air for years did not just become rusty. They fused together like welded steel. Commercial sprays failed constantly. Workers emptied can after can onto frozen parts, only to end up using blowtorches or cutting tools to finish the job. Time was money. Failure was expensive. And trust in commercial advertising wore thin very quickly when the products consistently failed under real industrial conditions. So the mechanics stopped trusting advertisements and started experimenting on their own, mixing chemicals, testing old workshop methods, sharing results quietly between repair crews, the kind of practical knowledge that only travels between people who actually use tools for a living. There was no financial incentive to publish it. No company stood to profit from promoting it. So it stayed where it was discovered, in workshops, tool chests, and the quiet conversations between professionals who had learned the hard way. And eventually, many of them arrived at the same solution, a homemade mixture that consistently outperformed expensive commercial products in the field. The formula used just 2 ingredients, 1 part acetone, 1 part automatic transmission fluid, ATF. No branding, no commercials, no patented formula. Total cost, approximately $1 for enough to handle several jobs. At first glance, the formula sounds almost too simple, but the effectiveness comes entirely from chemistry, not from marketing. Automatic transmission fluid is not ordinary oil. ATF is engineered to operate inside a vehicle's transmission system, one of the harshest mechanical environments that exists. It operates under extreme heat, pressure, and friction. To survive those conditions, ATF is formulated with detergents, anti-wear agents, friction modifiers, and specialized additives designed to keep metal surfaces functioning under stress. On its own, ATF lubricates exceptionally well, but lubrication alone does not break severe rust bonds. Acetone is an extremely thin volatile solvent with very low viscosity and surface tension. Unlike heavier oils that remain near the surface, acetone creeps rapidly into microscopic spaces inside rusted threads and corroded joints. It acts as a chemical delivery system, carrying whatever is mixed with it deep into spaces that ordinary oils cannot reach. When the two are combined, the acetone pulls the ATF deep into the tiny cracks and pores inside the rust structure itself. Once inside, the ATF begins doing what it was engineered to do: reduce friction between metal surfaces and break apart the seized bond from within. Most commercial sprays work on the outside of the corrosion. This mixture works from inside it. That single difference explains everything. In a 2012 study published in Machinery Lubrication magazine, engineer Forrest Adkins conducted a controlled torque test comparison of multiple penetrating fluids on rusted fasteners. Products were ranked by the average torque required to break fasteners free after treatment. The results placed ATF and acetone mixtures among the highest performing options tested, outperforming several well-known commercial brands. WD-40 ranked among the lower performers under deep penetration test conditions. These findings have been referenced and replicated independently by mechanics and engineers in the years since. No single solution performs perfectly in every situation. But across heavily corroded fasteners, the pattern has appeared consistently enough that the formula remains widely used among professional repair technicians who know about it. The ones who know about it being the key phrase. If a mixture costing approximately $1 performs competitively against products costing $8 to $10, the natural question is why hardware stores are not prominently selling it. The answer is mostly structural and worth understanding clearly. A 2-ingredient formula with no proprietary chemistry is nearly impossible to patent or brand in a way that creates lasting consumer loyalty. No company can build a large business around something consumers can replicate in 30 seconds with 2 items from an auto parts store. There is also a practical manufacturing issue. Acetone evaporates quickly, which creates shelf stability, and safety challenges for standard consumer aerosol packaging. A pre-mixed retail version would require specialized containers, additional regulatory compliance, and safety handling requirements that significantly reduce profit margins. Commercial products are not necessarily designed to be the most effective solution available. They are designed to be stable, shippable, brandable, and repurchasable. A product that consumers buy once and rarely need again is not a business model. So the formula stayed where it has always been, in workshops, passed between professionals who valued results over packaging. Now you have it too. Knowing the formula is only half the equation. How it is applied determines whether it works at all. Step 1. Clean the surface. First, spraying directly onto thick rust and grime is like trying to pour water through concrete. Rust flakes, dirt, and debris physically block penetration. A wire brush removes the outer crust and exposes the microscopic openings in the corrosion layer beneath. Professional mechanics consider this step non-negotiable on severe corrosion. Skipping it wastes both time and mixture. Step 2. Saturate, do not just spray. A brief surface application rarely works on serious corrosion. The goal is full saturation, flooding the connection point so that gravity and capillary action draw the mixture inward. Apply from multiple angles, around bolt heads and along thread seams, allowing the mixture to find every available gap. Step 3. Wait. This is where most people fail. Penetrating fluid requires time to travel through microscopic spaces. For moderate corrosion, 20 minutes may help. For severely seized components, several hours is more appropriate. In extreme cases, overnight treatment produces significantly better results than any rushed application. The mixture is chemistry, not magic. Chemistry requires time. Step 4. Apply force gradually. Once adequate time has passed, force must be applied carefully. Sudden violent impacts applied too early frequently shear corroded bolts completely. A long breaker bar provides better controlled torque through gradual steady pressure. Alternating between slight tightening and loosening creates micromotion that draws penetrant deeper into the threads, while the bond begins to release. Step 5. Heat for extreme cases. When metal expands from heat, microscopic gaps inside the rust bond temporarily widen. Penetrating fluid travels deeper. As the metal cools and contracts, internal forces help fracture the corrosion from within. A propane torch applied carefully around the surrounding metal, not blasting the bolt continuously, can unlock fasteners that resist every other method. Acetone is highly flammable. This is not a minor caution. Always work in a properly ventilated area. Acetone evaporates rapidly and produces strong fumes that accumulate dangerously in enclosed spaces. Never use this mixture near open flames. Lit cigarettes, sparks, angle grinders, or any ignition source. If heat is being used, allow the acetone to fully evaporate from the work area before applying any flame. These two steps must never happen simultaneously. Store the mixture only in appropriate sealed, chemical-resistant metal containers. Keep quantities small, store away from heat sources and out of reach of children. Treated with respect, this is one of the most effective rust penetration tools available. Treated carelessly, it is dangerous. For decades, consumers trusted branding over understanding. They bought products because advertising told them to. They blamed themselves when those products failed on severe corrosion, assuming the problem was their technique, their patience, or their effort. Meanwhile, the professionals who worked with real corrosion every day had already moved on. They weren't using what was advertised. They were using what actually worked, and quietly passing that knowledge between each other, far away from marketing departments and store shelves. Now you know what they knew. You understand why some products only coat the surface, and why others penetrate into the corrosion itself. You know why patience matters more than brute force. You know that safety is not optional with this formula. And you know that the most effective solution is sometimes the simplest one. The one nobody had a financial reason to sell you. The next time you face a rusted fastener that refuses to move, you are no longer starting from frustration. You are starting from knowledge that most people never find. And if this video changed the way you think about rust forever, subscribe now, comment knowledge, and share this with at least one friend who still believes every shiny spray can is a miracle in a bottle.